Welcome to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. We are 2 out of 3 brothers just watching.
We're watching all the screens of shapes and sizes.
All of the screens,
And lengths.
shapes, sizes, formats, aspect ratios.
Yes, because the other day I was trying to watch an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, which is new for me, and it kept pixelating and being like frozy and shit.
Oh.
And then I was like, "What's going on?" And so I had to change it to standard definition.
Oh, NT.
Yeah. And then I was
That's
like, maybe
annoying.
it was just Stan, because you know sometimes Stan's a bit dodgy because
Yep.
it's the Australian one.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, no. And then I was like, okay, now I'll watch whatever I was going to watch, the football or the netball. And it was doing it again. And I'm like, okay, I can't watch a game of sport with this kind of pixelation.
No, it did it to me the other day when I was watching After Party on Apple TV.
Yeah, we talked about that recently.
did.
Yeah, so I had to change it to standard definition as well.
You need to upgrade your internet.
I don't think I do, though. Anyway.
Australia needs to upgrade their internet. We've got a drink, which I've already opened.
Yeah, we
Soz.
already opened it.
It's
I got a bit excited by
Pine
Bilson's.
Lime. Well,
It tastes fake as shit.
it tastes like a splice. And like the fruit tingle, instead of calling it a fruit tingle, the fruit tangle,
It doesn't taste like a splice.
it does take like a splice. They should call this a splice or a
Oh, Jesus Christ.
splose or a... I was
really
going to say
bad, Lee.
sploose, but that sounds bad.
You know, Lee, a few episodes ago, you said we should laugh at each other's jokes more. And if you keep making ones like that, it's not going to happen.
All right, I'll say something... I'll try and say something funny in this episode so you have something to
and
laugh at.
I will laugh.
Okay, what about this joke a kid told me the other day?
Okay. Now I can't laugh because it's not your joke.
Well, it's like a standard joke, though.
Okay.
It's not like last episode I didn't want to say what Ray O'Leary said because it was a comedian's joke.
Okay.
There are a couple of things I would have changed a couple of words in the punchline, but you're the pro, Ray.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your kid.
No, the kid told this joke. He said, why did the chicken cross the playground?
Oh, okay.
To get to the other slide.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty fancy playground with more than one slide.
Richie's.
Richie's.
No, there was
Richie
one.
Riches.
There's two. There's the one, the big sloped flat metal one, and then the wavy plastic one.
No, Lee. They don't make the metal ones anymore. It's a burning hazard. Too many kids going to the ER with
Burnt bums.
with like back of the legs,
Oh, calves.
and then the squeaky noise,
Yeah.
and then sometimes it didn't work, and then you got stuck halfway, and then you had to run down, and then you'd trip and you'd hurt something on the tan
It was
bark.
also the one that we are talking about from our youth, very high.
It was like 10 feet.
I don't think they make playgrounds as high as they used to make playgrounds.
No, because kids don't go outside anymore because they've got all the streaming.
Chicken jockey.
Yeah, chicken jockeys. Because chicken jockeys.
Whoa! Oh,
Whoa,
okay.
he's a chicken.
We talked about chicken jockey in our episode a couple of weeks ago, and
Yuck.
gross people. But then not long after that, I saw a little video that IMAX had made,
Yeah.
and the caption was "Enjoy chicken jockey responsibly," and it was like it said "me on the outside," and it showed Jack Black saying chicken jockey, and then it scrolls to the audience, and they were just sitting there like this.
Okay.
And then it said "me on the inside," and it scrolled away from Jack Black saying chicken jockey and them going nuts, which is to say, keep it in, don't flower bomb a cinema.
Children, the lesson here is suppress your emotions.
The lesson
It
here...
will get you far in life if you just take everything you're feeling and cram it deep inside.
And the lesson here for IMAX is that Gen Z aren't on Facebook.
I was on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to put that shit on TikTok, man. Did I just say TikTok?
You did.
Sorry.
Oh.
I need a mint.
What have we watched recently?
Okay, so we have watched, and I've watched more of, Mid-Century Modern.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think I'm nearly finished it.
I've watched, I think I'm halfway.
Yeah, it gets better. I feel like they get in their groove a bit.
You know what also I decided to do the more I watched it? Was ignore the laugh track.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Because I think if they had just because you also said in your review of the first couple of episodes that it has serious moments.
Yep.
And it does. Like, oh, we're actually friends. Oh, I really love you. Oh, Nathan Lee Graham, you used to be this big, powerful bitch, fashion bitch. And now you're just some dumb sales with the guy from Modern Family.
Yep.
And then, Linda Lavin does a talk with him and, he becomes the bitch again. That's the serious shit. And I think that serious shit is not studio audience / canned laughter sitcom style writing.
Yes.
If it was just joke, a la 90s sitcoms.
Yep.
Live studio audience, okay.
Okay, yeah.
I think if you're going to do that more serious stuff, you do it just as a no audience, one camera sitcom.
Yep.
And I actually think if they'd made it more like a current style of sitcom, it would have a higher chance of being renewed for season 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to do. I think it's because it is just the Golden Gaze for girl.
Golden
other way
Girls
around.
for gays.
Same shit. That it's kind of, we feel like we've seen it before. But the thing I'm appreciating about it is that it is actually kind of dirty.
The thing I really like about it is that it's gay.
It's gay. It's not like straight washed.
It's not jokes
About
written
gay
for gays
people.
to say that the straights will get.
Yeah.
Like, they're normally they're normally the kind of jobs that he likes. When she says jobs that suck the soul out of him.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And Nathan Lane says, jobs that suck the soul out of him. And then in the casino episode, when he goes like, stay, hit. It's like, oh, he's going to stay and he's going to hit that. So there's sex jokes in there and they're jokes that are actually gays.
Yeah.
When he says to Jesse Tyler Ferguson, a one-way ticket to hell and enough ketamine to get you through to Christmas, or whatever he says.
I think it's good. I'll keep watching it. If it does have a season 2, that'd be great. I'll watch that too.
I think, it'll be interesting. It's funny. We're in an interesting period in writing something just for the gays is good, and the gays want that. But does then that mean there's enough audience for there to be a season 2?
Yes.
Or enough appeal to enough outside of the just gay audience to get a season 2?
Yeah, I don't know about season 2. Like, I think it's been rated high by critics, but I just don't know if it's like, am I just seeing it because that's my algorithm?
That's true. But also, we are the target audience.
Exactly.
Because we are gays who like the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
So...
And I was born
Yeah.
in the mid-century.
No,
Yeah.
you weren't.
Yeah.
You were born in the late century.
I know.
You were born decades ago.
Yeah. According to a comment I saw on the Facebook after SNL.
SNL hasn't been funny for decades.
Amy Lee Wood. Is that her name? The British one with the teeth from White Lotus. They did a spoof of the White Lotus and they made fun of her and she's like, I didn't like it. And then somebody commented like, it doesn't matter. SNL hasn't been funny for decades.
So that counts out the current crop.
That counts out the current crop.
So that also
sorry,
counts...
Kristen
Wiig.
Sorry,
Bill
Tina
Hader.
Fey and Amy Poehler.
Sorry, but if we're talking about decades, we're also like, sorry, Dan Aykroyd. Like, it's only been for 5 decades.
Yeah, and 3 of them that haven't been funny. But it's keep going.
Also could be 5.
Yeah.
Decades could be 5
Sorry,
decades.
that guy who's got a show now. Seth Meyers. There you go. He does the
As
late
well
show.
as Jimmy Fallon, I'm pretty sure, was on it
He
for a bit
was.
too. Sorry,
Eddie Murphy.
Will Ferrell, Eddie Murphy,
Adam
Dan Aykroyd,
Sandler.
Jane Curtin.
Yeah, all of the people that are funny. Anyway, people are dumb.
Every bit of comedy that you've grown up with.
Yep.
American comedy,
People
at
are
least.
dumb.
Yeah.
Sorry,
People
Blues
are dumb.
Brothers.
Speaking of Blues Brothers, our topic for this week,
Yep.
When you think car crashes, what movie do you think? And I think Blues Brothers.
I don't. I think of
Can
a
I guess?
TV.
Oh, I was going to say, you guessed the
But
car
you're
crash
close.
in the Scary Movie when he's like, "Is this my wife?" And he splits the hot dog in half. And he's like, "If this is the donut,
No.
is this my wife?" No. Okay.
I'm not getting it.
No, the car crash, the big car chase with the multi
And when they're upside down.
car crashes that all pile up in the middle of Chicago. That's what I think when I think car crashes on the screen.
I think TV series. It's very obscure.
A TV series with a car crash.
With a car crash.
ER. No, that was a helicopter.
No. Similar time period.
Chicago Hope.
Different country.
Was it when Constable Wayne Patterson gets hit by a van in Blue
No,
Heelers?
it was Blue Heelers. But you know there was this one episode where this car's driving on, I don't know, Doherty's Road.
Yeah.
And then
The Widgery Road.
the Widgery Road. And then this car this car out of nowhere just T-bones it. And it's like Tasma Walton is nearby and she sees it happen.
Okay.
And then people die.
I think the more iconic... Well, I guess that's not a car crash. It's a car accident when Constable Wayne Patterson gets hit by a van.
I mean, what's
That
the
is
difference
very
between
obscure.
a crash and an accident? Is a crash two cars or multiple cars? But an accident is a...
Well, I was thinking car crash is more than one
Yeah.
car.
Or I think what might be Vanilla Sky, but then they used it in Scrubs. It's like she's driving and then just goes off the thing. But it's clearly not what was shot for Scrubs.
From the
Very
movie Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but it's just... I think so. Anyway, I'm going to find it. It's
Okay.
very obscure. My references are obscure, people. It's not like, whoa, what's the car crash you think of? And you're like, oh, Talladega Nights. Do they crash in that?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah, and he comes out and he's on fire.
Thelma and Louise.
There's also a car crash in Cars.
There's a lot of famous car crashes.
What's your favourite? Comment below or get in touch with us on the socials or join the Facebook group, which I keep forgetting to plug. And we can talk
Raceway
about
popcorn movie?
what's your first thought, not your favourite. We want to do,
just
everybody does favourite.
If you was like Snap and you go, car crash in a movie, and you have to go, oh, not a movie, but it's Blue Heelers.
Yeah, no, on screen.
On-screen car crash.
Okay.
And you're like, TAC ad.
That was also filmed in the Werribee area. One that I think of is the one where it's down by the shit farm, and then
And veers off into a tree.
it's a fatigue one, and then off into a tree.
You know why that is in your head?
Why?
How many times have you driven down that road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's how we used to go to uni. And I was like, on the car wheel.
Well, I thought about uni today because I was driving into the servo and there was a truck full of burger rings. I'm like, that was my breakfast every day on the way to uni.
Yeah, Coke and a burger rings.
Coke and a burger rings. Now I'm on the
good
Coke no
times.
sugars. So
I was thinking about uni
health.
the other week because I drove to Geelong. That's more of a reason.
There's no more story?
Rings. No.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, I thought of uni because I drove the same way I used to 20 years ago.
I thought about my university because I saw my university.
Other people would be like, I thought about my university because at my job, I used the skills that I learnt there.
Yeah.
I don't use the skills that I learnt doing half a forensic science degree at my job. Although I can be a detective sometimes and I'm very observant.
Okay. When I say... No,
It's
well,
gone off the rails.
we need to come up with a new
And this was all because of mid-century modern.
segment. A new concept
Oh,
for
a
next
new thing.
episode, a new topic.
Okay.
Think during this episode. Sitcom. We just talked about mid-century modern.
An
We'll
animal
finish it.
dies.
All right. What's the first animal death you think of on screen?
Yoni's disease.
Jesus. You don't see an animal die in Blue Heelers.
Yeah, sure you do.
Tom has to put his dog down.
Oh, the dog that's not a blue heeler.
I think it is a blue heeler.
Is it?
Yeah, at the start, he has a blue heeler.
Okay, we'll just watch Blue Heelers
I
again.
had to get back into watching that, actually. Another sitcom we have watched some of is The Other Two.
Mm-hmm.
which we found on HBO Max because we have it now. And
Yeah.
we each definitely have our own account of
So
it.
you scroll through.
And you scroll through, and we had
Who'd you pick as your little avatar on the thing? Have we already mentioned
Yeah, we
this?
talked about that.
Oh, right.
Shane picked the King of the Frost Giants or whatever the shit is from Game of Thrones.
The Night King. But Lee,
Night
I would
King.
mistake you for forgetting that because he didn't really have a lot of impact towards the end.
Really?
Well, he did, but not the way that he should have. The ending was crap. That's not a spoiler.
Well, I know the ending
you know
is
that.
crap. Everybody knows that.
It's that drawing of a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw comments.
It's that drawing of a horse. Cool.
I saw comments
What's
the other day.
What's the first TV series you think of when you see that horse? That's the next topic.
That could be maybe Game of Thrones jumped the shark.
Oh, not the sharks.
Oh no, they
again.
just had shit writing at the end. They forgot that. Somebody
because their books weren't finished.
I saw something the other day that was a comment on a post about the end of Game of Thrones. And it was like, I dedicated my life to making sure I watched the episode as soon as it came out.
Yep.
So that I could talk to people the next day so there wouldn't be spoilers, so I would be 100% up to date.
Yep.
And then it was like, if you asked me anything that happened in that show, I probably couldn't tell you. That's how scarring the last season was for this person, that they have just wiped the whole show from their memory.
Yep. The last season had its moments. We won't go deep into it.
Because I haven't watched it.
The last episode, trash. The first 3 or 4 episodes of the last season, okay. Not what you wanted to happen, but people, you were watching Game of Thrones and all your favorites ended up dying. Did you really think it was going to be like a happy ending? Ugh,
But also you're watching a show
I've been sitting
based
on that
on
for 6 years.
books that aren't finished.
Yeah, so it wasn't going to be how the original writer intended it to finish. And now he doesn't care and he stopped writing it himself.
He's one of the big things. I've been listening to authors and author business people for my own writing
Business people.
talk about this thing called battered reader syndrome.
Uh-huh.
So many people that say, I'm writing a series, don't finish their series. That it's a thing now that a lot of readers of particularly of fantasy won't start reading a book series until the last book is out.
Right.
Because they don't trust, because
Right.
George R.R. Martin did it so badly.
Yep.
They don't trust that it's going to finish until
Yeah.
it is finished, so they won't start a series.
You know what Max fucked up?
What?
Or Binge fucked up? So White Lotus was on Binge.
Correct.
And they kept the current season, the most recent season,
Yep.
on Binge until it ended.
Correct.
My friends were like, I want to watch White Lotus. So they started watching from the start
On Binge.
on Binge. And then Max came out and the other seasons of White Lotus got taken off.
Well, that's probably out of Binge's control.
Well, I think you could have kept them on there. And then they were like, all right, so I'm just going to watch the new one. I'm like, oh, get Max.
They'll get Max eventually. Binge, I think, will struggle a little bit from here. They'll need to start coming up with more original content.
Yeah, that is a Great Australian Bake Off.
Is Colin from Accounts on Binge?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's on the BBC in the UK. It's just been renewed for season 3.
Great. I've
watched-
one episode.
I watched half of the first season.
Great.
Can I tell you, speaking of White Lotus, I gave up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to know who died?
As we said, the characters weren't as engaging. The story wasn't as engaging.
Yep.
And I got some big spoilers.
Incest.
Incest. And I saw that Lachlan died,
No.
the younger brother.
No.
Oh. Well, I saw the joke that he should have died then for using a dirty blender.
Yes, because pina coladas. Jason Isaacs, Lucius Malfoy.
Yes.
Because then at the start episode there was the fruit with the poisonous toxic fruit.
Okay.
With the trees.
Yep.
And she was like, "No, don't eat them." That's the Australian one. And so then, psychopath Jason Isaacs decides that
yeah,
rather
loses
than
it.
shooting his family like he was dreaming of doing the whole time.
Yes, and
when
why he stole the gun from Gay Talk.
Would dice and crush up the poisonous fruit and mix it into pina coladas for his family.
Oh, pine limes.
Yeah. But then the weird thing was, he was like, no, you youngest one, you can't drink. So you're not having one.
Oh.
Right?
So he's the only one that he has hope for in the future.
Not even the girl.
They hate the girl because she's going to stay in Taiwan.
But then she didn't.
Oh.
She was just like, Mum, I stayed there and the food was terrible. I can't live there.
Oh, my God.
Right? I really didn't like that ending. Yeah.
She wanted to start Buddhism.
Buddhism.
I
Yeah.
would have made more sense if she joined that monastery thing.
And it actually was a cult.
No, and
No, because that's like...
there was no
offensive.
connection with the head monk, because remember she went at the very start to go for the meeting, and the secretary, receptionist, I didn't know monasteries had receptionists, was like, oh, he doesn't have time to see you today.
You know
oh,
what
I
it's
thought I made an appointment. No appointment.
You know it's really hard to be a secretary receptionist at a monastery?
The vow of silence.
A vow of silence. Yeah.
No, well, they just
The
use...
phone just rings off the hook.
No, they just use motion. The AI does all the appointments for them. They don't even need to speak.
Great.
That's an ad for motion. Sling us some dollars.
Yes.
Or a free subscription for motion. Come on.
Sure, great.
I'll plug it on the podcast.
I've got the moves, baby. You've got the motion. Let's just cause a commotion, like Madonna
Motion
said.
or the ocean or the sun in the sky.
You can wonder if you want to bend and never miss crying and then you try to... Anyway,
So Lachlan didn't die.
Lachlan didn't die. He nearly died.
Oh,
Well,
because...
technically he did almost... Well, he was dead for a bit, but then he woke up again. Because Jason Isaacs was making the things with the toxic
Poison fruit, yeah.
And then they all sipped it a bit, and then he was like, no! And he started
he
freaking
changed
out.
his mind. And
And
then the
then-
gunshots came. You don't need to tell me, because the listeners have probably finished it. And we don't need to go
And
over the whole
gunshots
series
came,
again.
and Walton Goggins shot the old dude that he
Okay.
pushed over in the episode
Uncle
before.
Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
No, not that old dude. Another old dude
Oh.
that he visited with the old Thai lady.
Oh, the one that owns the hotel that killed his father.
Yes, but no, because it was his father, which was not a shock. Was everybody shocked by that? I was like, that's clearly his dad.
I don't know. I didn't watch that far.
And then there was some fan theory that thought that the Thai lady was his dad.
Oh, my God.
The theory was, because, lady boys. That was the theory.
But also, apparently, the TV clip of her singing is real.
Oh. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Can I...
Anyway, Walton Goggins and girlfriend with the teeth died. They got shot.
Okay. Who was floating face down next to Zion?
He's alive.
No,
They
no.
made a deal even with Greg Gary and got $5 million. Belinda and the Son.
Oh, Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
The...
Any
No,
other
who
TV shows
was-
you want me to wrap up?
Who was face down in the water that floated up to Zion? Because that was the start of the whole show.
Walton Goggins?
Did he get shot?
It was Walton Goggins or the girlfriend. I can't remember which one was face up.
Okay. So do you know what's interesting?
All right, now I'm going to recap the last episode of MASH.
The brothers that hooked up are both Nepo babies.
Yeah, because his mum is someone who's
Emily
in
Mortimer.
things. That's it.
I just looked it up.
And when you say that, when you look at it, you go, yep, I can see it.
And when...
And who's his dad?
You know what's harsh? Sam Nivola is prettier than Emily Mortimer.
And who's the other one's dad?
No, his mum
Is Maria
is
Shriver.
Maria Shriver. That's
Yeah.
what got him into movies.
Yeah.
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 His dad was like a bodybuilder or something.
Yeah, some douche. He doesn't look like his dad.
He has moments.
Oh, really?
Well, but they're also then saying like...
Is when he, you know what? Because
He's
when they
got
were
the-
running from the gunshots, he went to Sam Nivola and he goes, "Come with me if you want to live."
I've heard a lot of things that have said he's got the Kennedy looks.
Right.
He'll be very attractive young, but not age well.
Well, none of them did because most of them died.
Yeah, and the only one that's
Or RFK
the only one that's
Jr.
still alive hasn't aged well in looks and in opinions.
And in voice. Sorry.
One show I don't want you to spoil the ending of, and this is the show that I did actually want to talk about,
Yep, cool.
was The Other Two, which I feel like
we still talking about that?
I feel like I introduced and then we never actually got to talk about it.
Yeah, so Other Two is basically
on HBO Max.
The younger brother becomes Justin Bieber.
Yeah. So there's a younger brother whose stage name is Chase Dreams, which is ridiculous. And he becomes famous, and Harry Hollinger from The Residents becomes his manager, and he's definitely not meant to be Scooter Braun.
When we started watching it for the record, because last episode,
Yes.
I didn't know that he was in this. And for the record, when I was going, do I know him from Will and Grace or Happy Endings? It's both.
It's both, and it's The Residents, and the beard that he finishes with in The Residents suits him.
Okay.
Now looking back, this was 2019, this show, The Other Two. So it's about the 10 years older siblings of the next Justin Bieber, Chase Dreams, whose launched song is I Want to Marry You or Recess, which is hilarious.
Or as they say, the next big white kid.
Yeah. He's 13, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
It's got a gay in it. The brother, the older of the siblings, the brother is gay. And it's very funny as a sitcom of these two older siblings that aren't really doing much with their life while their little brother gets very famous.
Yep.
And there's some, like the episode we just finished watching, like, oh, that's sad, but also funny.
Because they're failing at life.
They're failing at life, but they're trying to convince themselves that what they're doing is good and makes them happy, while their brother is house sitting for Justin Theroux.
Yes. Which
But
was
also-
odd, because they seem to just make fun of Justin Theroux the whole episode.
Yeah, he is a little bit odd.
Surely you have to check with him.
You would. And he would have been okay with
And
it.
he's probably in the episode later. Like, he'll be in it later.
He'll be in something at some point. And what's funny, as well as the jokes and the sad, funny failure of the older siblings,
Yep.
is looking at how weird people are for young, attractive pop stars.
Yes.
There are a couple of points where you were like, that's weird. When
Yeah.
it was like an adult saying how cute the kid is.
Boxes or briefs.
A boxes or brief question.
And his answer was whatever my mum buys.
Yeah, which is correct for a 13-year-old. But then I said, if you go back and look at the way they spoke to and about and interacted with a young Justin Bieber,
Yep.
like there's footage of him at the Teen Choice Awards or the Kids Choice Awards or something where some adult woman actor just kisses him.
Yes. And I almost want to say it's Tara Reid.
No, I was going to say it was Leslie Mann, but it's not.
It's somewhere, it's a blonde woman.
Yeah.
We've established it's a blonde
Elizabeth
woman.
Banks?
No, I feel like younger. I really want to say Tara Reid.
Shall we? This is
But
why I
'cause
told
she
you we
was
need a
probably
researcher.
high.
Who kissed Bieber at the award show is the suggestion from Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy, Melissa's sister. I think they're actually related.
Jenny McCarthy kisses Justin Bieber, then explains herself. 2012, Jenny McCarthy kissed Justin Bieber on Sunday night at the American Music Awards, grabbing him by the neck and then the butt after announcing him as the winner in the Rock Pop Album of the Year category.
When was he
Wow,
rock
I
pop?
feel violated right now, said Bieber.
Yeah,
Yep.
rightly so. And now look at him. He's a mess. Sorry to our cousin.
He is a mess, though. I saw one video that 100% proves that he's breaking up with Hailey
Hailey Bieber. Yeah.
because they were coming out of a restaurant and he was 4 steps behind her, and the TikTok caption was like, look, he can't even walk with his wife. Like, maybe he was paying the bill, and so she went, I'm going to go and get the car from the valet.
Maybe he was paying the bill.
What do you mean? She got Baldwin money.
Stephen Baldwin money.
No, maybe...
What's that
no.
fucking Flintstones money?
That was my example. He's inside still paying the bill while she's going out to get the car from the valet.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're not together.
Yep. Split up the paps.
Yeah. But then someone puts it as a video on TikTok and says that they can't even walk together. He's clearly disturbed. Like, we probably just saw the bill.
He got like sexually abused as a child.
Yeah.
Of course he's disturbed.
So maybe that's a subplot.
Disturbed.
Maybe that's a subplot of Chase Dreams that's coming in the other two.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's funny. There's a couple of interesting gay moments.
Yeah, I don't know where this...
The straight roommate
housemate-
that might be curious / questioning,
Yeah, I don't know where that's going.
but that'll be
I
interesting
suppose we'll watch and find out.
and funny. And there's some gay jokes, and it's good.
It
We'll
is
watch more
funny.
of it.
Yeah. It's one of those things, it's not always laugh out loud funny, much like this podcast. And
Some of the just if you want me to laugh out loud, don't say something funny while I'm drinking.
right, well, I don't
Okay.
think of these things, Lee. They just come to me.
Well, that's why we rehearsed. No, we didn't rehearse.
Where's John Wood? So yes,
There is. You can't see out of shot, YouTube viewers, but on the top of this bookshelf is a signed picture of John Wood, Sergeant Tom Croydon.
John Wood from the Industry Superfund ads. There you go.
He was like marshal at a car rally that our auntie took her car to.
Great.
And so she got a signed picture, but either he didn't hear or she didn't think to say. So it says, Dear Lynn, our auntie's name.
Oh, okay.
All the best or whatever, John Wood. And then she just gave it straight to me. She didn't intend for the photo to be for her. She always intended it to be for me. And so that's
on ya.
pride of place out of shot on my podcast.
Cool.
I'm going to move it here. Replace the Gordon's gin. You've watched another show called Big Boys.
Yes, I have. Recommended by someone at work. Thanks, Becky, if you're listening. It's British, and so is she.
Okay.
And it's like this comedian. It's autobiographical sitcom. He's a gay, and he
Yep.
goes to uni, and his dad died. But
Not
it's a comedy.
autobiographical comedian like Baby Reindeer.
Not yet. Anyway, God, I hope not. That was not good.
That was
Anyway,
very good.
It was good. It
Not
was
good for the comedian. Very good show.
No. Anyway, I didn't enjoy it after about 4 episodes.
Got pretty intense, but I think it was good.
And yes, very funny. So it's like gay thing, and then he has a roommate who's a straighty. And
Does he jerk off while he watches, like
No.
in the other two? No.
No.
Okay.
But they are actual friends, and then this one's got depression, and then that one's a virgin, and he's trying to find himself. So basically, it's 2 guys in college or university just trying to get laid, but they do it in a fun way.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll add that to the list.
On ABC.
iView.
Yeah.
Free.
For free, but you'll get an ad at the start about the chick that breaks her arm playing tennis, and the coach comes back who I think touched her up. That is on the start of almost every ER episode, so
another
that's why I
show?
know it. It's called like Break Point or something. It actually is. I think it's called Break Point.
Oh dear. Not Point Break.
No,
Okay.
not surfing. Is that surfing?
Not. No.
I should watch Hot Fuzz again.
I've got it. It's just here. Maybe.
It's here.
It's behind you. It's just after Hunger Games. No, before Hunger Games.
Don't say hunger. I can't see what I'm pointing at.
No, actually, you're nowhere near it because Shane put it in the Cornetto trilogy.
Under sea.
So it's over there. Yeah, Shaun of the
there.
Dead. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz
there you go.
on the end of row 1. You can't see it in shot, but it's there.
It's there.
You can see the
Right,
bottom
exactly where
left-hand
I'm
corner
pointing.
of it.
Anyway,
A movie I watched.
What the fucking mess is this episode?
A movie I watched. Look, I don't want to say nepotism, right?
Okay.
But the movie is called Trap.
Oh, with Olivia Rodrigo.
And it's directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yep.
And it's set at a concert.
With Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett. And it's set at a concert. And the concert is performed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, who wrote all the songs.
I thought Olivia Rodrigo was in it. I That was an Olivia Rodrigo concert.
Is Olivia Rodrigo M. Night Shyamalan's
No.
daughter?
If she is, that's a twist I did not see coming.
Well done,
Thank
M.
you.
Um,
And don't ask me how I spelt coming.
so, Salika Night Shyamalan.
Okay, so where did I get Olivia Rodrigo from?
So, she had a first album, right?
Yep.
Salika Night Shyamalan.
So his last name is Night Shyamalan.
I think so.
Okay.
So, Salika Night Shyamalan, known mononymously as Salika, is an American singer-songwriter and actress. She's the daughter of M. Night Shyamalan and was cast as a fictional pop star, Lady Raven, in his thriller film Trap. So the cynic in me says, my daughter released an album and it didn't do so well. So
Okay.
I'm going to write a movie that stars a pop star and then get my daughter to play the pop star and release the soundtrack, but also get her to release an album called Lady Raven.
But is the music targeted at the same people that are going to watch the movie?
No, it's targeted at the girls who are going to the concert.
Yeah.
But it still is getting her music out there.
I heard that it was quite good.
I think the movie is quite good.
Good.
It's better than Old, which was the previous M. Night Shyamalan movie I watched.
I can't remember that one.
That's the one on the beach.
Oh, they're on the beach and the poster's got a bone foot. Yep.
Yeah, and then there's not a great twist, and it's also not a greatly made movie. This one is well made. Josh Hartnett is good.
On a scale of Sixth Sense to The Village. Actually, they're both good.
Yeah.
So
On a scale of Old to The Village, it's in the Sixth Sense, I actually think is his best one.
duh.
And The Village is brought to second place, possibly third place because of his choice of casting. Bryce Dallas Howard.
I thought you meant Carmen Electra, but that was Scary Movie 4.
Fuck. Trap is good. I didn't look too much at it. I thought from the trailer and what I knew about it was a dad and daughter get trapped in a concert.
I thought that the dad was the bad guy.
That is, yeah. And it's revealed pretty soon into it that the dad is the bad guy. And I was like, oh, he's the bad guy. And Shane's like, yeah, I thought that was like the point of the movie. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
maybe I missed that. So the idea is that this concert is set as a trap for a serial killer that is
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett.
Great.
And it's good. It's very tense, and you do have moments where you're like, oh, I hope he gets out. But then you're like, actually, no, he's the baddie.
Oh, okay.
Because the tension is, oh my God, is he going to make it?
Yeah.
When it's really, then you're like, no, the tension should be, are they going to catch him? And so I think in that way, it's well written. It's a lot happens. The movie felt like, well, that's the resolution then. And then we needed an intermission, so Shane could go to the bathroom, and it still had 50 minutes to go.
Audiences these days are terrible.
It still had 50 minutes to go.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, what the hell's going to happen for the next 50 minutes? But it's still good after that. So probably the first half is a bit of a flipped thriller idea, and then it gets a little bit more traditional thriller after that.
Okay.
There's a couple of odd sound mixing, sound design choices. So there's an FBI profiler who is British, and whenever her voice is on, it feels like, you know, when you play a video game and then there's a voiceover of someone, a British woman announcing something in the complex that you're in or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah? It sounds like that,
Yeah.
which is odd.
It's an
Partly
weird
because
reference.
sometimes when you hear her, it's through an earpiece that Josh Hartnett's wearing, and sometimes when you hear her, it's when she is talking to Josh Hartnett. But it has the same sound design for both of them, which is odd to me and made it feel like she was fake.
Okay.
And there's a couple of clunky exposition moments where he steals a headset from a SWAT team person,
Yep.
Josh Hartnett, and so he's listening. And then she comes over and says, "Let me just remind you of the plan that we have to catch this killer." Like, that wouldn't happen. Like, you wouldn't redo the briefing over the radio halfway through the operation.
Yeah, in case somebody was intercepting it.
That's just there for the audience
Yep.
to know it.
Okay.
As the profiler on this case, I know that this and this is the way that he's going to try and escape.
Okay.
I'm like,
Bit odd.
yeah, you could have introduced her as a profiler in another way. But other than those couple of bits, I think it's one of his better ones. Certainly
Nice.
better than Old, not as good as Sixth Sense or The Village.
Okay, good.
Good.
Maybe I'll watch it.
There's one moment. Oh, yeah, one moment that was like, oh, I can't watch it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like in Black Swan when she picks the thing out from her fingernail.
Yeah. And
That was like the substance, right? Sure, she's cutting into her back with a scalpel.
gross.
Fine. I don't squirm. Neil Rascrocha did that on ER today. It doesn't make me queasy. But when she's got her like knee and she has to put her knee back into place, I was like, nah. I can't do knees and ankles. Everything else is fine.
Yeah, that's because I think we're similar and because of the sports we've played, are always worried about our knees and ankles doing something. And we've watched too many AFL replays where they just show someone's knee go the wrong way.
I was watching a game of netball once and even her leg went that way and even her head went that way. It was just like hyperextension.
Oh, I can't do
disgusting.
No feed pics.
It was like
can't
it
do
was
a
like
hyperextension.
It was like it was backwards.
Oh, when it tries to get like mine did when we went roller skating.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was your fault or
was
the
Dean's
middle brother's fault.
Oh no, I made you laugh because Dean fell.
And then I
It
tried
was a
to
team effort.
turn.
It was a team effort.
And then Nurse Grandma was like, "You'll be right."
Yeah.
Actually, there was a piece of bone floating around in my cartilage.
Anyway, on that note,
So Trap, I would recommend. It's not a gross out horror. It's a thriller
Yep.
with tension.
he doesn't do gross out horrors.
He doesn't do gross out
He's a
horror.
suspense man.
Well, so the bit that I couldn't watch wasn't a gross out bit. It was a tension bit.
Oh, tension pneumothorax.
Yeah, and people that know my work history you'll probably be able to pick which bit it was for me. That's it. I don't know what episode is coming out next. I think it might be the Brady Bunch movie.
I guess we'll find out next week.
We will find out next week. If there's anything that you want to suggest for us to watch, you can do that by putting in the Facebook comments in the Facebook group.
Yes.
Which is the Rainbow Popcorn Movie Club, which is linked in the episode description, or you can just search that in Facebook. You can comment on the YouTube video as well, or get in touch with us on the socials at Rainbow Popcorn Pod. Thanks for listening to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. We'll be back next week. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lee.